senior French technical translator and interpreter. He studied here at JNU, finishing his MA in French Translation and Interpretation in 2005 in the Center for French and Francophone Studies. In terms of philosophy, he's an autodidact and discovered Schopenhauer in 2005 at the first of the series of conferences, of which this is the third one in India and two were held over in Germany. And he also has an interest in Rousseau and Greek philosophy, actively participates in philosophy discussions on social networks, and has created blogs and video channels on philosophy topics. And from some of the discussions we had over lunch, Mr. Rao is very interested in the aspect of popularizing philosophy, or rather extending the audience for important philosophical debates.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atzert. Good evening, friends, distinguished guests. Let me begin with a small anecdote. In 2010, I was struck by a tragedy, and there was also a happy moment, and I didn't know what to do. Now, in such cases, when a tragedy strikes you, you either turn over to religion or to philosophy. I chose philosophy, and I think philosophy has made me a better human being. And I would like to thank my guru, Dr. Barua, for giving me a chance to, enter the world of philosophy. It all began 10 years ago when I was studying here in JNU, and I happened to meet Dr. Barua in a conference in Jaipur, and we just spoke, and she told me that I'm from JNU, and then the interest in Schopenhauer developed, and then I finished my studies, and I went to France, and I came back, got married, had kids, and but still the contact with Dr. Barua was still there, and so it's after 10 years I'm coming to JNU, and but the thing is that when I say philosophy has made me a better human being, is that many of us, we study philosophy academically, and some of us would like to think over the bigger questions of life. What is life, or what's the purpose of life? And when you want to find an answer, you have to turn to philosophy. But again, not everybody can be lucky to enroll in a philosophy course. Then what to do? So well, you have to make some start somewhere, and then if you are a little bit well read, then of course you start with the Greeks, of course, the great masters, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and later on you move on to other masters, and then if still you have the interest, you continue and you explore the realm of philosophy. So this was the case with me, and as a matter of fact, when I was doing my masters here, we had one optional course on philosophy. We had some courses on Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and I just attended 2 of them, and I just dropped them. I said, no, it's not going to help me, and I think I chose film studies, and I did some work in that. But later on, I came to philosophy. So, of course, philosophy helps even those who are not related to it, as, for example, my friend George Toish, like him, I'm also not from philosophy background, but again, I feel when you study philosophy, you learn many things about life, and from one philosopher you move on to the next philosopher. Now, for example, when my colleague Dr. Bhattacharya was giving his speech, I just came to know that Wittgenstein, Schopenhauer was the only philosopher which Wittgenstein read with interest. He never read any other philosopher. So these are the things which you learn when you read philosophy. But of course, there's a way of looking at philosophy. Maybe many of the people do it in an academic manner, and there are many like me who are just interested in philosophy in a non-academic manner. participate on internet. Of course, internet is a very helpful medium, and so keeping all these things in mind, I was in touch with Dr. Barua, and then when she told me 6 months ago that there's going to be a conference, and I said, yeah, I would like to present a paper, and because what I'm doing